Hello, you lovely, lovely people. I've got to tell you this. I've got to. I was quite amazed when I found out about it, and I did a little bit of uh, research, and it's true. Now, as you are all well aware, or most of you, if you're in the Philippines, and you get married to a Filipina or a Filipino, it don't matter. There is no divorce, okay? So, once you're married here, you are married forever. There is annulment, which is another story. But anyway, we're talking about being married here. And many, especially the men I've kind of see, have affairs. So what can happen is if you're married and you have an affair, the other party can make a case against you, and if there is evidence, they can make a case with the barangay captain or wherever they have to do it, and if it's found that is true, you can go to prison. Okay, now that's bad enough, right? But I was talking to my wife and about this, and I was saying, why do many people have affairs in the Philippines? And she says, well, it's just what they do, because they married somebody and at a very young age, and maybe being pressured into it by family or something like that, and it's just not right for them. So a lot of people have affairs. So I said to her, I said, well, what would you do if I had an affair? Would you make a case against me and put me in prison? She said, no. She said, I'd kill you. I said, what? She said, I'd kill you. And I said, yeah, but then you go to prison. And she says, no, I wouldn't. I said, Mira, murder's murder. It doesn't matter what you've done. If you do me in. She says, no. She says, it's a Filipino law. I said, get out of it. And she says, it is. She says, check it out. So I did. I checked it out. And it's true. And it is Article... God almighty, I can't. Article 247 of the revised penal code, right? I think it's Article 247. I think. I will check it out after this, and I will leave a link in the description. And what you can do, if you are legally married and you caught in the act your partner in the act, doing the business, you can kill them. You can kill him and her, and you will not go to prison. What happens is you get banished or something from that area. You can't go to that area for so many years or something like that, but you can actually legally do that. And I checked it out, people. And if you don't believe me, check it out yourself. And it is still in standing today. And there was a case that I was reading, Delia and Delsa or something like that. It happened to them. And yes, it's legal. But you have to catch them in the act or just after. Well, what's just after? What's just after? I mean, it's their word against the person who they've done in. But yes, and that's what my wife said she'd do to me. Ha ha! She said if she caught me doing that, that's what she would do. Now, if my wife knows about it, many other Filipinas must know, and Filipinos must know about this, because I've heard this before, but I thought it was just talking. When someone said, if they had an affair, I'd kill them. I just thought it was just talk, because that's what they do in the Philippines. I'll kill you, I'll do this, I'll do that. But yes, it's absolutely legal to do it here, and there is no case that is brought against you or the person who's done it. My goodness. So, the moral of the story is, people, if you are going to get married here, you've got to think long and hard about doing the dirty deed, if that's what you want to do, and you're caught up in the moment, you're out with your friends drinking, something happens and you think, I might have a go at that. Think long and hard about it. Think long and hard about it, because it can possibly happen to you. I still can't believe it, but I've read it and it's true. Article 247 of the revised penal code, or the penal code. And it tells you all about it. It tells you all about it. It's quite unbelievable, isn't it? It's quite unbelievable. I mean, it's bad enough being in a country, which I think is terrible. I think it's the only country in the whole wide world, even in Italy. They have divorce, I'm sure of it. But this was the reason Henry VIII, didn't he? He changed the religion in England from Catholic, from Catholic to Protestant, to the Church of England, because he wanted to divorce his wives, and the Catholic Church said, no, you can't. So he said, you watch. And he burnt all of their Catholic churches down, and then, killed his wife and said, right, we've got the Church of England, we are Protestant now. It's the only country in the world here where, as far as I'm aware, where you can't get divorced. Now, I think if you was to get married here, and then you go to your country with your wife or your husband, and you register your wife or the husband in your country, the marriage, I think you can get divorced there. But I don't know how it stands here. I mean, I've got no intentions of getting divorced. I'm just saying all of these things because it's so difficult here. And I know when you have an annulment here, it can take a long time, and everyone's in on it. The attorneys, the judges, and they drag it out and drag it out. And it can take a long time, and it'll cost you a lot of money. Unless you know people in the know who can get it done quickly or whatever, if it can be done quickly. I think it's the same as everything else in the Philippines. It's not what you know here, it's who you know. If you know the people who can do things like fixes. Fixes are everywhere here. You go and get me, because I didn't know anything about fixes when I come to the Philippines, and I was told by the PMP when I was stopped at a roadside checkpoint that I was only legally allowed to drive for 90 days on my British license, and they said after that you have to go and get a Filipino license. I thought, how do you do that? So after talking to a couple of guys on the breakwater when I used to go angling, they said, oh, you just go to the LTO and you fill out a couple of forms. I said, what? And they said, yeah, and I did that, and there was a fixer. There's fixers everywhere here, and I didn't know about this. I went to window 1, window 2, window 3, did all of the things and paid the money, and well, I didn't pay the money just then, and my name was shouted out, and I was there all day, guys. This was the first time I was in the Philippines, and it said, Mr. Stephen Smith? Yeah, and this window, and I went there, and he had my Philippine license all printed out with my name on it. And this was the time when you had 5 years license. Now it's 10 years. And he said, hey, you know how this works, sir, don't you? And I said, no, I don't actually, no. And he said, I give you this and you give me 6,000 pesos. I said, yeah, okay, no problem. And I give him that, and I went out happy as Larry, happy. I had a Filipino license, which is great ID here. It's brilliant ID. Along with your passport, you can't get better ID here. So, I went down happy as Larry with a license. I'm legal now in the Philippines to drive a car or anything. And I saw the Angler boys, and they said, how much? And I said, 6,000. And they said, I can't remember if it was 6 or 7,000. And they said, how much? And they said, you've been ripped off. They said, you can get it done much cheaper than that. My wife's just telling me again. So, Mira, if you're legally married, right, and you caught on the act, what happens here?
We kill.
Ha ha! We kill! And that's what she said. If you was to do that, I'd kill you. And I have checked it out, and it's true. Careful, guys. Careful. Women, be careful. Anyway, look. This is why I've been doing no videos for a while. I've been doing my tiling, look. Not finished. But I've got the cuts to do. The cuts have got to be done. And out the front, I've got to lift this up now. Out the front, we're redoing these front steps. Because it was too big. Where my wife is sat, there, like little Jack Horner sat in the corner, we're redoing that. Because he was always getting, the rain was coming. It was too big, so we're making it smaller with some railings. That's it really, people. News on this beauty on the TV, if you've been following the channel, where the power surge blew it, right? Now, I was expecting no good. I had a guy come out. I thought, oh, here we go, Filipino guy. Oh, he's got a karaoke business where he builds karaokes or videokes, whatever they call them here. Oh, come here. And he said, it could be a fuse. And I said, no. I said, you know, the plug hasn't got no fuse. And he said, no, it's on the power board, right? I said, is this? It's got a fuse on the power board? He said, yeah, maybe, he said. So he came out here, truthfully. He came out here, took the back off with what looked like a crowbar screwdriver. I thought, oh God almighty, here we go, he's going to break this telly. Anyway, took the back off and rummaging around. I thought, oh, this is never going to work again. It's proper up now because he's been fuse, a little glass fuse, people, a glass fuse on the power board. Change that, and perfect. Unfortunately, the ref hasn't got a fuse on the power board, so and still can't get any. Oh, we had someone coming out to have a quick look at it, and it was a quick look. He took a look at it because it's all like a touch digital display, and he said, no, he said, you're gonna have to get a new power board. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. So at the moment, we just buy in food, daily food, daily fresh food until I decide if I can get it fixed, I will, but I can't find any good engineers who will fix it. And Samsung, I called them in the end, and then the nearest place for them is Osamis. And they charge you so much money to come from Osamis to here, just to even have a look at it. So I said, no, it doesn't matter. So if any of you guys are in this vicinity where I am, in Dipolog City Way, if you know in fact, if any of you are refrigerator engineers and it was blown with a power surge, please leave it in the comments and I will get hold of them. Everyone's gone mental. My son's gone mental. The chickens are going mental. They've been going mental over here all day in this house down here, in that little house there. They've been going crazy all day. It's so loud today, so noisy. But yeah, people, that's it. And bear that in mind. Article 247 of the revised penal code. You do the naughty, your husband or your wife can come and do you in. That's that. Thank you, people. Take good care and don't do naughty. In fact, don't get married, you're safer. See you, people. Bye-bye.